Howdy Tutti Fruities, it's Navenger, and today I am bringing you a Halo 4 commentary. It's been quite a while since I have done a Halo 4 commentary. It's been quite a few weeks, I would say at least. I've gotten into Call of Duty, playing that a lot. So I thought I'd go back to what I started from and what I have been doing for the majority of my YouTube career. And so I thought I'd bring you some Halo. It's kind of old gameplay, but I hope you enjoy it nonetheless. It's a doubles game with me and Spathik, so those are always good to watch. So anyway, please enjoy the gameplay and sit back and relax and enjoy this commentary. So what I want to talk about today was something that, and it came to me in a strange way, it really did. I was awake at 4 in the morning. I just randomly woke up, something like 4 in the morning, and it just came to me, and the thought was, does this world need another wheel? And what I mean by that is, do we need something else invented in this world that will change everything completely and impact every single thing and every single person on this earth? Now, what I mean by that is the wheel, as everyone knows, helps with transportation. It helps with, things of that nature. But everything that you use in your world has probably, I'm not going to say definitely because I'm not an expert on wheels, but it probably has been impacted by a wheel at some point or another, whether it was in transportation, whether it was in manufacturing, where it was on the conveyor belt, and the conveyor belt was using wheels, maybe when it was being shipped. Maybe as it was coming down in the airport, going through all their conveyor belts, those probably use wheels. And then if it did get shipped by air, the planes use wheels. If it got shipped by trucks use wheels. Trains, they don't use wheels, but I mean, they use circles, which are kind of like wheels, I guess. So essentially what I'm saying is the wheel, when it was invented, maybe at that moment in time, it didn't impact the world. But now in this age where we're transporting things like never before and new technology is being made, the wheel is still very important. But what I'm really wondering, though, is does the world need something new that will change everything completely? As most of you know, the world is running out of lots of things. It's running out of food. It's running out of energy. Not energy per se, but fossil fuels. We're running out of oil. We're gonna have to find a new way to make fuel. We're gonna have to find a new way to transport ourselves. We're gonna have to find new ways to power our cars, power our planes, things of that nature, where we can't use oil, we can't use coal forever because it's not gonna come back. Once we use it up, it's gone. So maybe it's something along the energy lines, perhaps. Maybe it's something along the lines of a weapon. Maybe if a certain weapon were created, it would not necessarily stop wars, but it would certainly, prohibit, or not prohibit, but it would come into the minds of people before they do something. So I'm thinking off the top of my head, Syria, they use chemical weapons, or supposedly use chemical weapons on their own people. And so now the U.S. is thinking about whether or not they should bomb Syria. From what my political science professor says, it's going to happen. So maybe it's a weapon, right? Maybe it's a weapon that, Syria would have thought, oh, shoot, people in this world have this certain weapon that they're not afraid to use. Now, I don't want to say nuclear weapon because everyone is afraid of a nuclear attack. Everyone's afraid of nuclear war. So maybe it's not something that's deadly per se. Maybe it's just something that a weapon as in, an embargo on a country or a tariff of some sorts. Maybe I'm going back a little far, and maybe I'm not searching for the right word. That's possible. However, not necessarily a weapon that would be used for war. So maybe it's something else, or maybe it's a new food. It's a food source that grows like never before. It's got incredible amount of nutrients that you don't need to eat, 6 servings of vegetables, 8 servings of bread, yada yada yada. You can just eat this food, and then poof, you've got all the energy and all the nutrients you need to go throughout your day. And maybe it's something like that, Another thing that I was thinking of would be, perhaps something in the medicine field, right? So maybe, it's a cure for cancer, or it's a cure for some other disease that doesn't really have a cure. AIDS comes to mind. Now I know they're thinking that maybe they found an early solution, like maybe an early onset, here, take this, it seems to have helped. Perhaps we're onto something. But maybe it's a medicine where it'll cure anything. You know, whether you have cancer, whether you have leukemia, whether you have AIDS, whether you have, you know, whatever. If you take this medicine, you'll be cured no matter what you have. And so it could be something like that as well. My personal thought on, does something need to be reinvented? I would say yes, because this world that we live in, and not to get all, you know, deep and philosophical on you, or just political, because I'm not a political person, but the world doesn't seem to be going anywhere good anytime soon, right? We've got all these wars, we've got famine, we've got, you know, people shooting up schools. You think of what's Newtown? I can't think of how to pronounce the word, but there's the school in Connecticut, Sandy Hook Elementary, right? You've got people that are doing all these bad things in this world. And I'm not saying that if something was invented that would cure cancer, that would stop. I'm just saying something that would change the way we think in this world, and something that would alter our way of life so tremendously that we wouldn't have to rely on robbing the guy down the street to get money. We could live for ourselves. Now, some people would still probably resort to that for the sheer fact that they can't earn an honest living, and that's on them. Excuse me. But maybe, you know, if something were invented that would help the majority of other people, then maybe some of these things would go down, and maybe our world would start to transform into something good and something positive. Because as of right now, and you can disagree, that's okay. I'm not saying I'm right, but as of right now, the way I see it, you know, this world is going nowhere fast, and it's not going to be good. You know, and you think of like 25 years down the road, you know, what's this world going to be like, right? You know, are we going to be running out of fossil fuels? Are we going to be running out of food? Is the world going to be overpopulated? I think, and then by 2025 or 2050, scientists are estimating that, you know, the world's going to be holding between 10 and 15 billion people. You know, that's a lot of people. We're at 7 billion as it is, or something like that, and we're already experiencing these famines and these, you know, these sicknesses and these epidemics and these outbursts of medical issues, which we can't seem to control. And so if you just think about how many more people are going to be on this world, twofold what we already have, right? 7 billion, if that's around where we are right now, you know, think of 10 to 15 billion, that's 2 times what we have now. You know, is this world just going to cave in upon itself? Not literally, but figuratively. Are we just going to be so overpopulated that we just crush in on each other and just self-destruct? And I think I wouldn't say it's a very real thing to think about, but I'm just saying, you know, 50 years down the road, is it a possibility? Perhaps. And that's where this new invention would come in that would change everyone's world and change everyone's life so drastically that, you know, we would just be able to live happier and better lives than we are right now. Because if you think about the wheel, it definitely helped. As I said earlier, you know, everything you use in your lifetime is affected in some way or another by the wheel. And so I'm just thinking maybe we need something like that to better our world. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Perhaps you feel the same way, perhaps you feel differently. That's fine. Let's talk about it and see, you know, what the different opinions are, and maybe what the possible new wheels, quote unquote, could be. If you see me, I'm doing air quotes right now. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay and this commentary. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.